I'm Mackayla. Welcome to the Soundtrack of Our Lives podcast. We're going to jump right in with the two hardest questions of all. Who are you and what have you been up to recently?
Well, first, thank you for letting me on.
Of
I've
course.
been looking forward to it, and I am Steve Sxaks. Many people know me by my government name, Stephen Bone, but if you know me from music, you know me as Steve Sxaks. Um, and what I've been up to lately, well, I'm on a little promo run for my book, The
Woo!
Invasion of the Punk Rockers Who Drink Blood. And I am working on a couple new albums. I think since we talked. I've released two different projects, so I'm constantly just putting out music, and I have so many things coming up right now, music and book related.
How do you balance music and the book?
Th Not very well, to be honest. I'm like incredibly like ADD ridden, so I'm just like I jump from creative projects, all
Hmm.
like no rhyme or reason. I'm very thankful that I get things done eventually, but yeah, I need to like learn how to manage myself better. I can manage other artists, but myself, it's like it's so hard.
I feel like that's a lot of people. Like you're like hyper organized at work and then you get home and everything's a mess or, things like that.
Exactly. Like I manage a handful of artists now, and I used to run a record label. So it's like I'm very good at telling everybody what to do and getting them the results they need. When it comes to my personal creative works, though, it's just I don't know, just I can't follow my own
Right. It's
advice.
like you give the rules to everyone but yourself.
Exactly.
I feel like that's always how it ends up.
I think so. I mean, I don't think I'm super unique in that kind of like aspect, but it definitely I don't know, it makes it more interesting, you know, you never know what you're gonna get. I was actually working on the sequel to the book the other day,
Ooh.
and then I was like, I just had an idea for a whole other story. So I start writing this other story, and then I look behind me and I see my guitar, and I'm like, oh, I'll just play the guitar. And then next thing you know, I'm recording guitar, and then next thing you know, I'm doing a whole song. And then I was like, oh, I have to mix a song for somebody. So now I'm moving on to that, and then just jumping around, and at the end of the night, I didn't get anything done. So that's where
But you
I'm
got a
at.
bunch of ideas.
I did, yeah, yeah. And I am the kind of guy who says, like, if I commit to something, I'm seeing it all the way through. So
Mhm.
it genuinely took me 20 years to write the book. And a couple of the, like, the album I'm working on right now is my first, like, folk punk record. And I wrote most of those songs when I was 15. So, yeah, 20 years later, I'm actually recording them and getting them done. So I do everything I say I'm going to do. It just takes me a little bit to get to that point.
Yeah, but you do it at the end. That's all that matters.
Exactly. That's how I feel.
Yeah. So do you think the next book is going to take as long to put out?
No, I don't think so. Like, you know, I know where I want this story to go. Like in my head, I have it mapped out like 12 books. So like I just it's
Wow.
as my one friend says, it's like an alt kid's Harry Potter. So
Okay.
it's like I have it mapped out. I know where I want it to go. I'm a lot more focused. And honestly, when I say that it took me 20 years, I've had the title for 20 years.
Hmm.
And you know, I would come mess with it a little bit, but once I finally focused on it, it took me about a year and a half to really like pile through the thing.
Hmm.
So, you know, my publicist wants me to have it done by next November. So that's kind of my deadline. So hopefully, hopefully I can meet that.
That'd be cool.
I think I can. I think I can.
Yeah, you can do it.
Exactly. But we got a lot of merch and little plushies and stuff on the line. So if I don't do it, then I'm sitting on a ton of plushies and shirts and stickers and stuff.
So how does, writing for a book differ for writing for a song for you?
Honestly, like for me, it's a very similar process. I think a lot of musicians kind of feel this way too. Like I am kind of like I don't want to say like full of myself, but you know, as a musician, I have like kind of an alter ego. The Steve
Hmm.
Sxaks. I
Yeah.
say it's a character, but it's really just me times 1,000, right? So this that persona is very just like you know, egomaniac, just wild kind of person. And when I get into the writing mood, I really do like dig deep into that character.
Hmm.
So I just I really like almost am just like it's kind of seeing it from two people. Like I'm writing it and then I'm reading it or listening to it as a separate person almost. And
Hmm.
I'll be like, this guy's a genius. This is amazing. But like the actual process of it is very similar. It's like I just kind of let whatever comes out come out, and then
Hmm.
as I do the read back or listen, I'm like very vision, like I'm a visual kind of person with it. Like so, I'm just kind of absorbing it and yeah, just tooting my own horn a lot. That's really how I get through it. I'm just like, yeah, I'm a genius. And then later later I'll 3 days later when I'm listening to it again, I'm like, oh, this is terrible. But when you're in that mindset, it feels good.
Hmm. What made you create the alter ego?
I That's a good question. I think I just kind of naturally fell into it. Like, my first band that started doing anything was called Sxaks.
Hmm.
And I played guitar in that band, and after that, long after that band broke up, people just knew me as Sxaks, so they just start calling me Steve Sxaks. So the name stuck. And then when we started the Marston House Ciphers, um, I was the host of them and I was just very just like, loud and everything was like kind of off the top of the head and just like uh ridiculous. And it just the personality just was me, but it just was
Hmm.
so much more amplified and it just fit. And anybody who's ever been in a band with me know like could tell you that's like me when we're writing because I'll come to the table and I'm like, all right, I wrote your guitar part and your I wrote the drums, I wrote the bass and all this and we're just all gonna play like this. And I can admit that I wasn't the best person to always be in the band with because I just knew how I wanted it to be.
Hmm.
Um, but I like to look at it like I had main player energy. We'll say that.
Yeah. Yeah, you knew what you wanted.
Exactly, exactly.
Not
So
everybody does.
I think that's like that's the big thing, it's like I'm not afraid to make the decision on the music and
Hmm.
then maybe it's good, maybe it's not, but the decision's made. I don't want to sit around forever and I think that's why I bounce around so much too. It's like I don't want to sit around forever working on something that's not like excellent. I want everything I do to like fully stand behind it. And if I get that by writing all your guitar parts, then sure. Sounds terrible, but
I understand where you're coming from. It makes sense.
it made sense in like every band. I think I've like been the lead in the band. There's been bands that I've stepped into the role as a fill-in guy. I played drums in a band called The Heels, or I played drums in a band called Extra Tongue. And Extra Tongue was way more of a collaborative thing, and that was awesome too. It was a different vibe, like
Hmm.
we just had I mean, obviously, like I'm not too great at coming in and just being like, and having no creative freedom. It's
Hmm.
like, well, these are already the drum parts, or these are already the guitar parts. Just play that. I don't think I could do that. It's like kind of like cooking. I had a cooking show for a long time, and I love cooking, but I can't follow a recipe. I cannot like I just look at it and I just start blanking out. So I'm like a little dash of this, a little dash of that kind
Hmm.
of guy. I'm like that with guitar too, or with drums. It's like I really anytime I'm creating anything, I feel like I put a little bit of myself into it, and it's like it's just got to be authentic to me, or I can't do it.
Yeah, you got to stay true to who you are.
I feel like that, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's important.
No, I mean I do too. I think it's like the most important thing. I think anybody, and look, like I used to tell people I was the greatest drummer alive or dead, which is not true. But but I think as a guitarist or as a musician, as a writer, as whatever I'm doing, it's like, and there's people who technically are way better than me at everything. I think it'd be crazy to say that there's not a better guitarist in the world. There's especially now, some of these kids are insane on
Mm.
guitar, and it's like, but the difference is like I just play it by feel, like my strumming pattern's a little different than a lot of people. And I know my studio partner Ethan, he when he started learning some of my guitar parts to join the band, he had a hard time strumming how I strum, but it was like very integral to the music.
Hmm.
Like a lot of the rhythm was based off of this like strumming, and the drums kind of went with the strumming pattern. So it's the soul kind of like all comes out like that. I think anybody can just read music and play an incredible piece of music and
Hmm.
have it be like, robotic and the timing is perfect and all that. But I don't find that kind of stuff to be very interesting, personally. So whenever I'm listening to something, it just seems very like, like just music by numbers.
Hmm.
I can't do it.
Okay.
That's I really like old music when everybody recorded the tape and you pretty much had one shot to get it done and you
Hmm.
just had to, yeah, you had people hitting the wrong note and there'd be like something in there that was just a little bit off, or you kind of went out of pitch on a part, or your backup singer went out of pitch on a part, and it was like that was awesome. I don't, it felt
Hmm.
very human. And now I think with, and this is coming from an engineer. I've been, professional audio engineer for uh almost 20 years. And it's like I can I can, pitch correct anything, have you on any key you need to be. I can, cut up your drum parts and your guitar parts and make them perfect. And um as great as that is, and I am a fan of like doing that because it's fun, it does take a little bit of the human element away.
Hmm. I think that's where live shows come in.
True, true, yeah. I mean, I think that leads people to being disappointed now, where it's like, oh, this guy sucks live. Where, the record's incredible, but live's terrible. But
Hmm.
if you have a great live performance, that's a huge thing.
Yes, it is. It's very important. In my opinion, I love a good live show.
Who's your favorite band to see live?
I don't
Or
know.
singer, any type of
The
person.
favorite show I've ever seen was in college. It was like a $5 show for ex ambassadors.
Okay.
I'd never seen them live. I knew like two songs of theirs, but it felt like I don't know. I'd never seen a show that like engaging before.
I like that. Those are kind of the best ones, the like just random $5 shows.
Yeah.
That's hard to find these days, honestly.
I mean, I was in college, so it was like the campus show.
Right, 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 right. Yeah.
But
I'm there used to be a lot of venues back in the day in Philly, like the Halfway House or the Nothing House, and all these there'd be, $5 shows all the time, and they were awesome. But I mean, bands I've seen for $5 now are touring for, you know, $60. So,
hmm.
but that's the evolution of it. So that's
Yeah,
cool. I'm glad everybody's getting paid.
they have to make money somehow.
Got to make the money. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm very pro musicians and artists making the money.
Yeah. Just everybody making money, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, especially if you get to pursue something creative and or even if you're not like a creative person, but you're just getting to do what you love to do genuinely, like
Hmm.
that is worth being paid for because life is hard. Like
Yeah.
having to wake up every day is already hard enough. I mean, and just everything that goes on in the world every day, I just feel like you get beaten down. That's kind of what the book is about in a lot of ways. It's
Hmm.
about the real world monsters and the mythical ones as well, but it's like you just get beaten down by the real world monsters, and it's if you have something that you love and you get to do that every day, you should absolutely get paid for it.
Hmm. I hope everybody gets to try and find that.
I do too, because I notice a lot of people don't like know what they love. It's like,
Hmm.
well, what do you love? What do you want to do? What do you love to do? It's like, I don't even know. That's
Yeah.
that's that's crazy.
Because we're just, we're told we need to make money to be happy. So you
And
find a job that makes money.
I do feel like that's changing a little bit with this new generation.
Hmm.
I think that people are prioritizing like living, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of that out young. Like I dropped out of school to go on tour. That was like music has been my thing. It's the only thing I ever wanted to do. Um, I I not good at having a boss. So it's like I am all for people prioritizing life. Like I
Hmm.
said, I've gotten to see multiple continents. I've gotten to perform on multiple continents, almost every state, a couple countries, you know what I mean? So it's like I really hope that if even if it's not music, like even if you just like being a data analyst, if that's what you love is
Hmm.
data, like go to Thailand and sit on, like on your balcony and do your data there or something.
Yeah. There's a lot of ways you can travel the world doing what you love.
I agree. Well, now too, like all remote work is very
Hmm.
popular now. That was like unheard of when I was younger.
Yeah. COVID definitely brought that into the mainstream.
Shout out to COVID, I guess. I don't know. I
Eh.
don't know. I mean, that was a joke. We actually almost had to close the studio because of
Oh
COVID.
no.
Yeah, the city put all these mandates. We couldn't even go in the building. If you went in the building, you got fined. And it was like we were shut down for like 6 months, but still had to pay the rent.
Hmm.
So it was tough. We burned through like most of our savings, and
Oh.
yeah, it was a fun time, but we tried to pivot and do stuff online, and um we got to come back and restart up the ciphers after, and it did good. Like I think it like made us very resilient,
Hmm.
but it was tough for everybody.
Yeah.
So shout out to Go was a joke, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, there were some not okay things, but some things that came out of it, like the remote stuff and
Right,
people
right.
being more resilient and realizing, oh, I can make things work when it gets hard.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it definitely changed our society forever, and
Yeah.
in a lot of weird ways, and like we just said, like some ways that are kind of good, I think, but I guess that's just human evolution. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Societal evolution, the hive mind, whatever it is.
So, for somebody who is just starting their music career, what advice would you give them?
I wished like somebody came to my 12-year-old self and told me like, to not focused on perfection and
Hmm.
just like deliver. That's the biggest thing I can tell anybody. It's like don't be so focused on just like on having things perfect. Just get it done. If you can nowadays, if you're worried about recording, like you can buy recording equipment for so cheap.
Hmm.
Like, $300 you could buy decent stuff and actually like put out a hit. So I just don't focus on, well, I need this and I need this and I need this before I can do it. If you have something that you want to create, just do it and just put it out there for the world. Even if it's not perfect, there's going to be people who it resonates with.
Hmm. And you have to start somewhere.
You definitely have to start somewhere. I mean, you kind of get it's muscle memory,
Hmm.
especially like if you've never recorded before. It's muscle memory. So every time you step in the vocal booth, or every time if you're a guitarist or a drummer, every time you like lay down tracks, you just get better and better and better at it. It's very rare, and I've recorded hundreds and hundreds of artists, and I've been in a ton of those recording situations myself. It's very rare that somebody just steps in and is like has perfect timing and just nails it on the first shot. I mean, I've seen experts get so frustrated that they have to shut the session down. So
Hmm.
it's something that it takes that repetition and it takes that just kind of drive, and forcing yourself to do it is the best thing you can do.
Yeah. It's just like anything, any skill you want to get good at, you have to practice.
Right. Yeah, no, you definitely practice. They say it's very cliche that practice makes perfect. I don't
Yeah.
think you can ever be perfect, but
You'd be better.
practice practice will make you better. Practice makes better. I will say that. Coin it. Put it on a shirt.
I'm sure somebody has.
Yeah, probably. There is no original thought. So that's
Yeah. I mean, that's so true though.
yeah, I think to think that you could come up with like an original thought, even if nobody's like put it out, there's what, 4 billion people in the world. There's somebody on the other side of the ocean that has at least had your thought.
Hmm.
I'm
Or
sure
something
there's
like similar.
exactly right. So I mean, I had Invasion of the Punk Rockers Who Drink Blood. Maybe there's a guy in Indonesia who was working on Invasion of the Rockabillys Who Drink Blood, and now he read my book and he's going to not put it out because I just beat him to the punch, and that's why you have to just execute.
Yeah. Because somebody else could steal your idea.
Steal your idea, or again, they just have parallel
Hmm.
ideas because we are kind of like all. I think people are more connected than we're. This might be too like philosophical, but I think people are more connected than we think we are,
Hmm.
and there's just. Like I said, I think I said it earlier, like the hive mind
Yeah.
situation. Like you might be digging into some thought and you're connected to somebody else somewhere else, and you're just both digging into that same thought at the same time. I don't
Hmm.
know. Maybe that's too out there, but
I think, I mean, it makes sense.
I feel like it does. I mean, I don't know, maybe I watched too much Rick and Morty or something at a time.
So is that Rick and Morty your favorite show?
Um, I really do enjoy Rick and Morty a lot. I like kind of like all things nerdy, and I like that Rick and Morty like parallels and like parodies a lot of that kind of stuff. Favorite show, that's tough. I don't know. It's probably like my favorite new animated show, we'll
Hmm.
say. Just to so I can cop out on that question a little bit.
So do you have a favorite show, or are you just gonna? You don't have to answer if you
I'm
can't come up
trying
with
to
one.
favorite show. I watch so much stuff. That's the hard thing. Like I loved all like the Netflix Marvel stuff, like the
Hmm.
Daredevil and Punisher and stuff was amazing. It's tough to like narrow it down to one show. I don't know if that's possible for me. I could just name a list of like say anything that's like a Marvel show I typically really love. Like I'll run out of my way to watch that stuff.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I also, of course, I love like the classics. I love The Sopranos and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I've kind of okay. You know what? Actually, I'm not going to cop out because I do have one thing that is my comfort show
Okay.
that I can watch it anytime. It doesn't matter. I'll just throw it on. It's King of the Hill.
Okay.
Anytime I'm just sitting around, if I don't have anything to watch, I just need something in the background. I'll just throw King of the Hill on.
Yeah, we all have that one show you just can put on and walk away.
Exactly. Yeah, just for some ambiance, a
Hmm.
little Hank and Bobby in the background.
Yeah. I think it's funny that there's so much out there, but we all keep coming back to like the same like four or five shows.
Especially I think for creative people that kind of makes sense. You know what I mean? Like I know like when I was younger, like I would digest music like that too. Like I had a six CD changer right by my bed, and I had the same six albums in there, and I just like run those ragged when I was going to bed. They were like my bedtime albums.
Hmm.
And then it was like, and it was really random too. It'd be like Alkaline Trio, Comeback Kid, um, Nina Simone. It was just like so all over the place, you know what I mean? And then yeah, I don't know. So I think I consume shows like that too. Like I was just kind of sick this weekend and I rewatched Infinity War and
Hmm.
Endgame. It's like I think I've seen them both 30 times. But it's
Yeah.
just, you know, I consume the media like that. I kind of notice new things on every listen to a song, every watch of a movie,
Hmm.
every time I read a book. So I don't know, it's interesting to do it like that.
Yeah. I find that it's weird if people are like, yeah, I don't really rewatch shows. Like that doesn't make sense to me.
Nah, I think you're an NPC if you say that. It's like you don't rewatch shows. What do you mean? You don't need to I rewatch. I think I've rewatched The Sopranos like six times. I've done Game of Thrones a couple times. I've done, you know, I'll rewatch a show if it's good.
I mean, I literally listen to The Office on shuffle to fall asleep.
Oh yeah, that's
I'm like, I do not know how many times I've seen it or listened to it.
yeah, no, The Office is a great one. I remember I'm not gonna lie, I avoided it until 2016, I think. I was just because it just got so much hype and I was like,
Hmm.
all right, I don't know if I want to watch this. And then I was teaching at a music school and there was a blizzard, so we were closed for a week. I just watched the whole show in like 3 days.
Hmm.
I loved it. And so I kept rewatching it. I
Yeah.
like that. And then Parks and Recreations is
Yep.
great. Yeah, so I like all that stuff. I can't get into like the English Office though. It's like
I've never
3 days a
tried.
month.
I feel like I just love the US version so much. I know that it comes from that, but I'm like, I don't want to watch it.
I've tried. I've made it like 3 episodes in like two or three different times. I just I can't do it.
It's different.
It's a different like set of humor. It's kind of like their food, you know, they put the baked beans and tuna and cheese on a potato. It's like, what is this? That's how The Office, the English version is. It's like, what am I watching right here? This doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not English, so I'm not necessarily sure that that humor is my humor.
Well, yeah, I agree. I don't think their humor is anybody's humor. I was gonna make a joke, but I have English friends who are gonna be mad at that one. But that's cool. They know I'm joking.
So before I ask the last question, is there anything else you want to mention or talk about today?
I mean, yeah, if you are, you know, looking to, you know, you asked me what kind of advice I would give to people. If you're an artist and you're looking for advice, reach out to me. That's like the big thing. I'll talk to anybody. I'm big on giving people advice. I'm big on, sharing the knowledge because my thing is if the creative community is strong and you eat, I'm gonna eat too.
Hmm.
So it's like that's always kind of been my philosophy. But yeah, but reach out to me. We have so much stuff coming up. We're about to do our farewell cipher thing. We're going to do like a whole like season of ciphers. Um, and it's going to be like kind of the farewell tour of it. I think it's time to retire the thing. So it's like if you're an artist and you want to get on something like that, reach out and let's make it happen.
That's awesome. So, our last question is, what is the soundtrack of your life?
Musically or just like what keeps me going.
Whatever you want. It's your
Well,
life. I mean,
well,
you could answer both.
what keeps the soundtrack of my life, honestly, and this might sound corny, but it's like it's my family because I love my kids are fun. Like they're just the funnest kids. They're already like my daughter's so creative and just always making up songs and stuff. And my son has like perfect pitch. I don't know how it happens, but like Pink Pony Club on Kids Bop will come on the radio, and he's just in key the whole time singing Pink Pony Club. And um, they've both been getting into like Pokemon lately, so
Hmm.
we're rewatching the Pokemon show, and every time the theme song comes on, the classic one, it's
Yep.
just like just all of us in the car just singing Pokemon at the top of our lungs. So that's actually kind of been the soundtrack of my life has been just singing songs with my kids.
That's awesome.
It's super fun. Like I can't recommend it more. Pokemon, they're in the Ninja Turtles. We did the Ninja Turtle theme song a lot, and then the Power Rangers theme song for a little bit. But the Pokemon's sticking the most.
Hmm.
So, and it's also given me a great opportunity to like rewatch all my childhood shows, which is fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, singing with my kids, that's my soundtrack.
That's a good soundtrack.
It is.
So, for all of our listeners who want to stay updated on you guys, hear the new music when you put it out, just kind of follow your career, where can they find you?
Well, the easiest thing you could do is just go to letsgoguy.com. That'll or stevescaks.com. They will get you right to me. You could just at Steve Sxaks, which is Sxaks on all social medias. You can just Google me, find the Wikipedia or find Instagram or whatever you're interested in. That'll bring you right to me and reach out. I will talk to anybody. I'm a talker. I won't shut up if I don't have to. So yeah, feel free to hit me up on anything. Yeah, and if you're interested in the book or if you're interested in music, like I'm on Spotify, the book is on it's on Barnes and Noble, it's on Amazon, it's on Books a Million, it's kind of wherever you want. I've been pushing the Amazon link a little harder so I can beat the algorithm, but it's wherever you buy books.
Hmm.
And my music is on any streaming service you can think of.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today.
Thank you for having me. I had a great time.
Of course. Have a nice rest of your day.
You too.
Bye.